Subscribe for Reddit's controversial opinions. If you are being sued by the person that you performed CPR on and saved them, you should be legally allowed to kill them. So there you are minding your own business when all of a sudden someone has stopped breathing and you're CPR certified and go in to help save the day by offering CPR. You end up saving the person and you feel good about yourself. Then a few days later you get mail saying you're being sued by the person who almost died because you saved them. If the person didn't want to be saved, they should be given one last chance to say yes to stay alive or no, and then be killed if they choose no. Someone who saved someone's life shouldn't have to fear being sued by the person they are trying to save. I believe there is a law that protects people in that exact situation. I can't remember the name, but it was definitely mentioned when I did my first aid course. The Good Samaritan law will protect you in most cases. People end up getting sued because they're certified, and if they missed even the most minor step, lawsuit. Going through first aid classes, my female instructor always told us men, if a woman is in danger and needs help, don't. Men will get sued and accused of molesting. The lawsuit isn't likely to stick, but we all know what happens to men in America being accused. I don't understand why somebody would do that. This is hilarious. In preschool, a kid popped his arm out of the socket, was screaming for 10 minutes non-stop, teachers were freaking out, called an ambulance. My mom had just shown up to pick me up and helped with this a few times before and pops it back into place easy. Kid stopped crying and ran back to play. Ambulance came, checked, and said he was all good and left. The parents tried to sue my mom for touching their child, bodily harm, and potential future medical bills. Went to court and judge threw it out. Those parents never came back to the school, probably didn't want my mom to take his arm back out of the socket, lol. I don't believe that is an issue in my country. I don't believe you can sue someone who performed CPR on you. I'm gonna need some sources cited to believe this is an even remotely common occurrence. I've been in acute care for 13 years, including traveling all over the US doing it for several years, and never once have I heard of someone getting sued for performing CPR. Not myself, any co-workers, any of my family members across 3 generations of healthcare professionals, or anyone any of those people have known in their careers. That's doctors, nurses, EMS, paramedics, firefighters, LPNs, CNSs, etc. I'm not saying that it has never happened to anyone ever, but there's no way it's a common enough occurrence to actually hold any legitimacy. I've even been physically assaulted during CPR by overdramatic family members, but not even those psychos sued. This is worse than an unpopular opinion. It's a dangerous urban myth to spread. The worst thing that happens is people not learning or performing CPR when someone goes down. Those are heartbreaking, especially when it's a young person. Also, no, you never have the right to take someone else's life over some petty bullshit. Ever. Well, I'd better not CPR anyone then, lol. The thing is, I'm pretty sure in most places if you're certified in CPS and don't help them, you can be charged with negligent manslaughter, but I totally agree with you on this. The Good Samaritan law is there so people can't sue you for stuff like that. WTF. I'm really sorry to say this, but I think in a few years when you get some distance from this situation you'll realize that it's fucking hilarious. That sounds like the plotline of a goddamn Simpsons episode. I could be wrong, but the Good Samaritan law only protects those who are not qualified. So if a nurse was walking by and you started choking, if they were to perform CPR on you and let's say break a rib, then you could sue for malpractice or whatever. Edit. Source: https://nurse.org/article/off-duty nursing dilemma/ Good Samaritan Act protects you. Good Samaritan Law. No DNR present. You're 100% not liable. This situation is literally almost non-existent. The law in the US is that if you undertake an effort to save someone that you were not obligated to save, i.e., you are a good Samaritan, then you must not be grossly negligent in carrying out your efforts to save that person. If you are grossly negligent, then you can be sued. An example would be paralyzing someone while trying to give them the Heimlich maneuver. If you didn't know how to perform the maneuver in the first place, and if they weren't prone to that type of injury unbeknownst to you. And before you ask, yes, I'm a lawyer, haha, yup, I'll take that. A man fished a woman out of the sea and gave her CPR, saving her life. 2 weeks later she was suing him for sexual assault because she could not consent to being touched or given CPR. In her words, if I'm quoting correctly. Of course at first I felt grateful, then as I thought about it more I felt raped.